Stop wasting money every single spring and listen carefully, because this will completely change the way you think about container gardening. Most people are trapped in a cycle they never question, buying new annual plants every year, replanting again and again, watching everything die when the season ends, then repeating the same exhausting process like it is normal. But what if that entire system is flawed? What if you could plant once and enjoy the results for years without constantly starting over? This is where everything shifts. Container gardening does not have to be expensive. It does not have to drain your time, and it definitely does not have to reset every year. The truth is simple but rarely talked about. Perennials can thrive in containers, just as well as in the ground. Sometimes even better. They come back year after year. They grow stronger with time, and they reduce your workload instead of increasing it. Think about the difference for a moment. Annuals demand constant attention, planting in spring, watering non-stop, removing dead flowers, feeding regularly, only to lose everything in fall. Perennials work differently. Plant them once, give them a little care, and they return again and again. 5 years, 10 years, sometimes even decades, growing fuller and more impressive each season. Most people avoid container perennials because of myths. They believe perennials need open ground, they assume pots are too restrictive, or they tried once and failed during winter, so they gave up completely. But failure usually comes from choosing the wrong plants, or not understanding simple care basics. Not because the method does not work. The real secret is choosing the right types of perennials, the ones that naturally adapt to container life, plants with compact roots, plants that tolerate limited soil space, plants that handle faster drainage, and most importantly, plants that still deliver strong visual impact, because a container garden should not just survive, it should stand out. Once you understand this, everything becomes easier. Your garden becomes more stable, your costs drop dramatically, and your effort goes down instead of up. You are no longer chasing temporary beauty. You are building something that improves every year. Now imagine stepping outside and seeing containers that look even better than last season, without replanting, without spending extra money, without starting from zero. That is the power of perennials in containers. Let's start with one of the most reliable plants you can grow. A plant that almost refuses to fail. Daylilies. These are known for surviving in harsh conditions, but in containers they become even more controlled and manageable. Their long arching leaves create a clean structure, while their flowers bring bursts of color in waves. Each bloom may last only a short time, but the plant produces so many buds that the display continues for weeks, sometimes months, especially with reblooming varieties. Compact types are perfect for containers because they stay balanced and do not overwhelm the pot. They tolerate heat, they handle humidity, they survive neglect, and they do not demand constant care. This is exactly what makes them powerful. You plant them, water occasionally, and they reward you with continuous color. The only thing to remember is feeding, because containers have limited nutrients. A simple monthly fertilizer keeps them strong and blooming heavily. After a few years, they grow dense. But instead of becoming a problem, this becomes an advantage. You can divide them, multiply your plants, and expand your garden without spending more money. Now, shift your focus to shade, because not every space gets full sun. This is where hostas dominate. These plants are built for low light areas, turning dull shaded corners into lush, textured displays. Their leaves are the main attraction. Large, bold, and available in endless variations. Greens, blues, golds, and striking patterns. They fill containers with volume and elegance, without needing flowers to impress. Hostas grow slowly but steadily, returning each year stronger than before. They prefer consistent moisture, but forgive small mistakes, making them ideal for beginners and busy gardeners. One important detail is patience. They wake up late in spring, so many people think they failed, but they simply follow their natural cycle. Once they emerge, they expand beautifully and hold their presence all season. Together, daylilies and hostas already show a powerful contrast. One thrives in sun, the other dominates shade, and both reduce your workload dramatically compared to annuals. This is the foundation of smarter container gardening. Now add resilience to the mix with sedum, a plant that thrives where others struggle. Hot sun, dry conditions, neglect, none of it stops sedum. Its thick leaves store water, allowing it to survive long periods without attention. In containers, this becomes even more valuable, because Watering is often inconsistent. Sedum removes that pressure completely. It grows steadily, forms strong shapes, and produces late-season flowers that attract pollinators. It also adds seasonal interest beyond blooming. Even after flowers fade, the dried structures remain attractive, giving your containers a presence even in colder months. At this point, you can already see the pattern. These plants are not demanding, they are not fragile, and they do not rely on constant intervention. They are designed to work with you, not against you. This is the shift most gardeners never make, moving from high-maintenance, temporary plants to long-term reliable systems. Once you experience this difference, going back to annuals feels unnecessary and wasteful. And this is only the beginning, because there are more plants that bring color, texture, and structure without increasing your workload, plants that make your container garden look professional while actually requiring less effort. Now that you understand the foundation of low-effort container gardening, it is time to elevate your space even further, because the real magic happens when you combine structure, color, and movement in a way that feels effortless but looks intentional. One of the most powerful additions you can make is coral bells. These plants are not about flowers, they are about constant color. Their leaves come in shades that instantly stand out: deep purple, bright lime, silver tones, even fiery orange hues, all living together in a compact form that fits perfectly into containers. They stay neat, they do not take over space, and they provide visual interest from spring until fall without depending on bloom cycles. This means your containers never look empty or dull. Even when other plants are not flowering, they adapt well to different light conditions depending on the variety, making them extremely flexible, and with simple care like regular watering and occasional feeding, they remain vibrant and strong. Next comes something most people overlook completely: ornamental grasses. These are not just fillers, they are game changers. They bring movement into your garden, they respond to wind, they create sound, and they add a natural flow that rigid plants cannot achieve. In containers, compact grasses create texture and balance. Whether it is soft mounds or upright forms, they contrast beautifully with flowering plants, making everything around them look more dynamic. They require almost no maintenance, no constant pruning, no deadheading, just one simple cut once a year, and they return stronger. This makes them one of the easiest ways to upgrade your container design instantly. Now introduce energy and life with salvia. This is where your garden becomes active, not just visually but biologically. Salvia produces long-lasting blooms that attract bees, butterflies, and even hummingbirds, turning your containers into small ecosystems. They thrive in sun, tolerate heat, and actually perform better with less water than many other plants, making them ideal for busy gardeners or hot climates. Their flowers continue for months, creating a constant display without demanding constant work. With just a small trim after the first bloom cycle, they come back even stronger, delivering another wave of color. This cycle continues through the season, giving you long-lasting results with minimal effort. Now add brightness and cheer with Coreopsis, a plant that brings a constant burst of color. Its daisy-like flowers cover the plant for months, creating a soft, full appearance that fills containers beautifully. Modern varieties are designed to bloom continuously, removing the need for constant deadheading, which is one of the most time-consuming tasks with annuals. This alone makes them incredibly valuable. They thrive in full sun, prefer simple soil, and do not need heavy feeding, making them easy to maintain while still delivering strong visual impact. To soften the overall look and add a classic touch, cranesbill geraniums are perfect. These are not the common annual geraniums. They are true perennials with a delicate, natural appearance. They spread gently, produce charming flowers, and often rebloom when trimmed, giving your containers a relaxed, cottage-style feel without becoming messy. Their foliage also changes with the seasons, adding even more interest beyond the flowers, making them a versatile addition to any container setup. For cascading beauty, Campanula is unmatched. These plants spill over the edges of containers, creating a soft, flowing effect that transforms hard pot lines into something organic and inviting. Their bell-shaped flowers appear in large numbers, creating a full display that feels abundant and lively. With simple care like occasional watering and light trimming, they maintain their charm throughout the season. Finally, bring everything together with Russian sage, a plant that adds height, airiness, and a completely different texture. Its silvery foliage and soft purple blooms create contrast that makes every other plant stand out more. It thrives in tough conditions, heat, drought, poor soil. None of it slows it down, making it one of the most reliable plants you can choose for containers. With a simple, yearly cutback, it regrows dense and strong, producing long-lasting blooms that carry your garden through the hottest part of the year when other plants struggle. Now step back and look at what you have built. This is no longer a temporary setup that resets every year. This is a system, a low-maintenance, high-impact container garden that improves with time instead of fading away. You are no longer spending money every season. You are investing once and enjoying the results for years. You are no longer overwhelmed by constant maintenance. You are working with plants that support your lifestyle instead of demanding your attention. This is the real shift, from effort to efficiency, from temporary to lasting, from frustration to control. And once you experience it, you will never look at container gardening the same way again.